Chicago, it's DJ Moore here. I'm glad to be here, excited to be here.
DJ Moore, Chicago Bear wide receiver.
Shoot, they're getting a fun, exciting, energetic person that's just going to come to work every day and not look back.
Justin Fields' best friend.
You know, since he's gotten here and of course, on the field chemistry has come quicker than, at least I expected it. And, off the field, it just kind of organically happens.
And remember 1 + 2 = 6?
First touch for DJ Moore. They used him in a ton of ways in Carolina. This was one of them. And there he goes. Goodbye touchdown. Welcome to Chicago, DJ Moore.
DJ Moore chatting it up with Mully and Haugh on 670 The Score.
We're going to bear down.
Mully and Haugh, Chicago Sports Radio 670 The Score. It is a Plumbers 911 Victory Monday presented by Busey Bank and It's Not a Game Illinois.com. And boy, we are very happy to get a chance to talk to DJ Moore. He joins us on the Score Hotline, powered by IBEW Local 9, Chicago's original powerhouse since 1892. DJ, good morning. How are you?
Good morning. I'm doing well. How are you?
Well, we're a little bit miffed that you weren't used as much as we wanted. I think we had agreed that if you're throwing 37 passes in a game, you need to throw them all to DJ Moore. I think that was our
or at least more than
conclusion.
2.
What did you think? Yeah.
I would say probably so, but that's just how the chips fell this past Sunday. So I can't dwell on it. Just go in and get better this week.
DJ, it's great to talk to you. Looking forward to having these conversations every Monday during the season, right at 8:00, and appreciate you joining us after a tough loss. So, in your experience over the course of your career, when you have situations where maybe you aren't targeted as much as you'd like, we heard stories and we know of receivers that might, say to the coach or offensive coordinator or whoever that, hey, you might want to look for me more next time. How do you handle a situation after a game in which maybe you do feel like you should have been targeted more?
Just watch the film with everybody, like the whole offense, and then just go about it a certain way. Like I won't say that I need the ball more to them, because that's not the type of person that I am and the player that I am for the team. So whatever best fits the team, if there's plays in there for me that we need to work on, that I can get the ball more, then I'm for it. But if not, then I won't have no hassle about it.
Yeah, we don't want you to have to write a book, just give me the damn ball by the end of the year. So we're trying to avoid that. But I wonder we talk about just what's best for the team, and you are the best offensive player on the team. You might be the best football player on the team. And I think that your role as captain, does that prevent you? I mean, you got to think about other guys. Does that prevent you from, and I don't even know if it's selfish when you talk about number one receivers and what they can do. You want to make sure that you're using everything possible in your arsenal. And you had a feeling coming out of that game, it was just, you got 2 passes thrown to you. You caught both of them, and they were both first downs. So you did your part, and then you wonder, well, what's going on?
Yeah, definitely. I was wondering what's going on, but I'm not the type to just blow up on the sideline. I'm just trying to figure out, all right, what's the next play? Who's going to make the next play, and how we about to win this game at that moment in the first half.
So, DJ, when you look at what the Packers did defensively, how would you describe the way that maybe they took away the downfield passing game? Or if they didn't, we were watching and wondering and waiting for Justin Fields maybe to take some shots down the field to loosen up that defense. What happened in the way that the Packers defended the Bears' offense that prevented those things from happening?
They played a good bit of yards off, so getting around them was somewhat a challenge because they were all so far, but at the same time, we should have kind of attacked them more than what we did.
Yeah, it's obviously, very difficult when you have a tough loss. Does that motivate you? Have you learned over the years to to take a tough loss and turn it into maybe a teaching moment kind of thing. How important is stopping what went wrong next week in Tampa?
Stopping losing is important because you could go on a losing streak if you don't nip it in the butt right now. So going into this week, we need a win and have more wins in the win column than the lose column.
What was your experience like for the first time in the Packers-Bears rivalry, and what happened on the sideline there when he maybe got caught up in it a little bit?
Hit on Justin, nobody liked, so that's what happened on the sideline. And I think Jair had hit me in the back, and then I had pushed him, and we got offset penalties with that one. But the Bear and Green Bay rivalry is very real. It was very loud on Sunday.
I had to be disappointed. I think the fans started booing in like the second quarter. And that's Chicago. You know, everyone loves you when you're winning, and if things are going awry, crowd can get tough.
Yeah, they started booing. I was like, whoa, it's only the second quarter. But then we came out after that, it was even louder with the boo. So I was like, oh, man.
And you talked about after the game, you're very honest. You thought that they were maybe just didn't bring the juice, and I think a lot of people watched and heard other players talk about a lack of focus. What happened in terms of the preparation, and where do you think things maybe got away from you? Because not having juice in the season opener against a rival is hard to understand.
Hey, I was saying we didn't have juice. Like when we went down, it was like lifeless. Like we didn't come back and try to go back at them like they were going at us.
I'm curious, how do you feel about being a captain of the team? That is a real honor, but you're new to the team, and it's interesting. It's almost kind of one of these things where you look at the Bears and you look at who the leaders are. Obviously, you're a very respected person on that group, and they voted you as a captain. Are you moved by that? Were you surprised by that? What do you think of that?
It was a great honor because it was my first time being a captain on the NFL team, and then on top of that, and I think they all voted me captain. Just about how I go out and handle myself in the field and off the field, and I think everybody got behind that and just voted me captain.
Before yesterday, obviously you changed teams in the offseason. You moved to Chicago. How have you acclimated yourself and your family to the city? What have been your impressions over the summer, and what do you like about it?
Downtown is very fun. My family loves going downtown with all the shopping and everything, so that's one thing. And then it's a nice city. We just love being outside and just being able to go do different things throughout the week, mainly on Tuesday, and just be able to relax in a city that we haven't really been in and find new things to do. And that's what we're just going to keep doing throughout the year.
You know, we know how good you are in terms of yards after the catch. You know, you got that quality that you don't see in every NFL player, but you have the ability to catch the ball, make a move, make a play. And I think that's fantastic. Do you look at that ability and say, hey, you know, I know you were used in a lot of different ways in Carolina. Do you want to, carry the ball here or there, be used in a gadget play here or there? Again, usage is the number one issue this morning because you succeeded when you got your chance, but everybody's trying to figure out how that somehow got lost in the wash.
Yeah, well, I would love to be using gadget plays. You know, when the time comes, I'm pretty sure that will happen within the season. But right now, yeah, we're just going to have to figure out the usage thing, and we're going to get it down, and we're going to start winning some games.
You have a ton of experience with a lot of different quarterbacks, and you now are working with Justin Fields, who there's so much hope invested in him and his progress in Chicago, and you've been around long enough to understand what that means. After a game like yesterday, after an offensive performance that was disappointing, what do you do in terms of trying to keep his confidence or attitude high and up? What do you do if you say anything to your young quarterback after a loss like yesterday?
I was talking to him on the sideline. I just told him to keep his head up. You know, it's the ebb and flow of the game. You know, things are gonna happen that we don't want to, and then we just gotta take the lick and bounce back. So probably just going into this week, it's going to be the same message because football doesn't change. There's always going to be ebbs and flows in games, and we just got to bounce back and bounce back harder.
This segment with DJ Moore is sponsored by Plumbers 911 Plumbing Emergency. Call the plumbing professionals, available 24/7 at 1-833-PLUM-911. And DJ, is it difficult when you have a loss like that? Did you feel going into it that there was not enough preparation? You know, we talked a lot about there were times when you guys would have 20 guys missing during camp, 16 guys missing. It just seemed like there was a rash of injuries. The offensive line did not look in the game like they had played together before, mainly because they hadn't really played together before. And there are so many elements of the game where guys need to be able to interact. You did a ton of work with Justin Fields since you got here and you seem to have a good rapport with him. Why do you think that everyone comes away saying, well, we weren't focused? Was it the fact that not enough people were able to partake in the preseason?
I mean, coming out of training camp, you're just going against one team to see the same defense or same offense over and over. So when we get to game week, it's like, all right, we got to prepare for somebody that we didn't already play that could come out with some new things that they didn't do in film. So maybe they threw a bunch of new stuff that they haven't shown on film at us. So I just got to watch the film here in a little bit and have that answer.
At this stage of your career, what is your philosophy about the role preseason plays in preparing teams and veteran teams, or maybe just veterans in general, for the regular season? Because I asked Matt Eberflus about it post-game. You saw other coaches have addressed it, like Nick Sirianni in Philadelphia. They struggled offensively, and he thought that might be part of it. The preseason importance. What do you say about that now?
I mean, I think starters should play at least one quarter or a half to a half, maybe the last preseason game. But before that, I don't think so.
What did you think of the running back rotation? It was interesting that everybody got a shot at some point or other in that game. And, you know, the rookie Roschon Johnson comes in. He ran down a safety. I mean, that was one of the most thrilling plays of the game. He just ran a guy over. That was pretty cool.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that was pretty cool. All the backs can do the same thing. And just looking forward to seeing what they do throughout the year and who steps up and who really takes charge.
So now you guys go down to Tampa. They had a big road victory in week 1 against the Vikings. You have a lot of experience knowing what that environment can be like when it's going from your years in the NFC South. What should we expect on Sunday from the Buccaneers?
They're going to blitz a lot. You know, they're going to make us have to attack them and try to hold them off on what they do defensively, and that's getting after the quarterback and rushing and making plays on the ball. So as long as we can handle the pressure, and it's going to be a good game.
When you look at everything that happened, and I this is just my view of it, like, you are a solution to these problems, right? I mean, if you can't move the ball, if you're struggling to get first downs, and, you know, unfortunately, a lot of the pre-snap penalties and some of the stuff that happened got you guys off schedule. So it's hard to judge how the offense will perform. But you are a solution, right? Don't you want to go in and remind Luke Getsy, hey, you know, all you got to do is throw to me?
You want to do that as a player, but it's got to be the right time and the right feel for what you're going in there for. If you don't want to be that player, and then it just goes even south for what is happening.
DJ, you mentioned the booing in the second quarter that it persisted throughout the second half. Today could be a difficult day around Chicago. This week could be a long week preparing, just in terms of the reaction. People love the Bears, are invested emotionally in Chicago. How would you describe, or what are your expectations for what the reaction to a loss like that will be, and how are you going to get through it?
Just staying together, as a team, getting through the rough time. It's just one game. It's a big game, but it's just one game out of 18, and it's still fourth on because we plan on going to the postseason. So it's going to be a long year, and we can't just dwell on this one loss.
I'm curious, when you think about this town, I just want to know, what's your favorite restaurant? Where do you like? What kind of food do you like? Have you been given recommendations from everyone you've met coming in? How much have you been enjoying the city, and where kind of jumps out to you?
I eat a lot of like Italian food.
Oh yeah.
Like spaghetti and stuff like that. But I won't say there's one specific spot yet that we eat at. So we still got a lot of recommendations on our plate to go hit. So if there's any more, feel free to.
I'll give you one. Have you been to Gibson's Italia yet?
No, not
yet.
Oh
my God! They got fresh pasta.
Good choice.
They got a bunch of Italian chefs they brought in. They also have like phenomenal steaks. And the thing I love about the place is they tore down like an old cannery at the end of the river, so you get a view of Chicago that I had never seen before in my life, and I grew up here. Gibson's Italia.
Okay.
Yep.
It's a good choice. So, DJ, a lot of people have been talking about the chemistry you developed quickly with Justin Fields. And I just wonder, you've dealt with a lot of different quarterbacks in your time in Carolina. You come to Chicago, and here's a franchise guy, young and developing and learning the league. What was the secret to making a quick connection with Justin Fields, and how would you describe the rapport you share?
Just being available to him, took care of my body, and just whenever he wanted to throw, I was there for him. And practice, just made sure that I was practicing every day with him after practice, or even when during practice. Just making the impossible plays possible whenever he put the ball in the air.
Yeah, I got to tell you, it's interesting because I think that when we think about you and what you're going to do, we haven't really seen a number one receiver in Chicago. And it's been a long time since they've had a guy that has got the possibility of having a big year. A lot of people have told me they believe you will end up being like the breakout player from this team. Is that part of the plan? Is that, you work hard at the game, and so that usually pays off.
Yeah, so when you work hard, you put in great input. You hope to receive great output at the end of the year and like during the year. So that, whether that's with wins and with wins and then accolades at the end of the year. So
right.
We're going to keep striving to be the best that we can be, week in and week out.
Another former Panther receiver, Musa Muhammad, once said that this is where Chicago is where receivers come to die. I don't think that's the case with your career, but did you ever talk to Moose about that? Do you know him from your days in Carolina?
I do know Moose. We haven't talked about that. I don't even want that to be a topic because I don't think I'm here to die.
Yeah, no need to talk to him about that. Hey, we're looking forward to a great year. We're looking forward to a victory so we can have a funner conversation and our questions will get better.
Yeah.
Really enjoyed breaking down the game with you. Thanks, DJ.
Thanks, DJ.
Thank you.
That, of course, is DJ Moore.